We're gonna attack with a Bronzong. Like, why not? We have 2 Bronzongs anyways. Yeah, let's just do that. Because they're gonna have to waste a boss order if we do that. So, let's spread our coating energy around. You know what? I'm gonna spread it to my Dideen. Make it really difficult for them. I'm gonna prepare for my Corviknights to get knocked out the next turn. So I'm gonna spread my coating energy to both Dideen. Make it super difficult for them. If they fan of waves, that's nothing we can do. But if they knock out a Corviknight, then we get to reattach our coating energies to the second Corviknight for a double protection because we have 2 coating energies. 70 is enough to knock it out. So Zen Headbutt. We can switch the next turn. We have a switch at hand. There we go. Oh my god. Full metal wall. Can't avoid it. You just can't avoid it. At least we saved one. There we go. We got a metal saucer. Great. So they're gonna retreat. They're gonna knock us out with Zacian. There we go. We still have a V card, so we can knock out the Zacian now and then worry about the Zamazenta later because we have a V card still. Nothing to worry about. Hello everybody, welcome back to Bearware the Terrible! Today we have a new deck in the standard format for you called the Invincible Knight. So in Invincible Knight, we are featuring our Corviknight VMAX card from Battle Styles with the GMAX Hurricane attack doing 240 damage for 3 metal energy costs. Sorry, 2 metal energies and 1 colorless. So 3 energy costs is not a lot because we get to use our metal saucers, we get to use, we get to attach it from our hand, but obviously the main strong point of this deck is because we are having our Bronzong Cheryl combo. So Bronzong Cheryl allows you to transfer those metal energies from your Corviknight to another basic or full HP Pokemon so that you get to use Cheryl to heal, to max heal your Corviknight VMAX and then retrieve those energies from the other Pokemons by using a metal transfer and transfer them back to your Corviknight VMAX, retreat to another Corviknight VMAX, transfer those to the new VMAX card and then do GMAX Hurricane again. And then on your next turn, all you need to do is retreat to another Corviknight VMAX, transfer those energy to the new VMAX card and attack, and over and over and over you get to attack turn after turn with your GMAX Hurricane if you have 2 Corviknight VMAXs in play and if you have a metal transfer card. So that is the meta deck. Everyone's been using it. It's been giving them good results. So I'm trying to keep my originality intact. So that is why I add a few cards that are not, in the meta format that not everybody uses. So everybody uses like Corviknight Bronzong Cheryl. So it's really hard not to be using a Bronzong Cheryl combo if you're playing a Corviknight VMAX card because that is the main strong point of this card. If you don't have your Bronzong Cheryl card, then Corviknight VMAX is essentially not really that good because, well, I can't really find another pair that works really well. Until I find it, this is the best that I can do. So let's go ahead for the strategy format. So our strategy is the same as everyone else's, but we are adding a few small changes, tweaking a little, just to add our own flavor to it. So our flavor is Stoutland V, Double Deep Fangs does 40 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out by this damage, and if they are a basic Pokemon, then you get to draw an extra prize card for it. So obviously it's only 40 damage, that is why we have Leon in this deck. Leon adds 30 damage to your Double Deep Fangs, doing only 70 damage, but that's okay because we only are doing 240 with our GMAX Hurricane. That means if we have already damaged heavily a tag team Pokemon or a VMAX Pokemon, all we need to do is switch out to our Stoutland V, transfer all those energy to our Stoutland V, use Double Deep Fangs for the knockout for an extra prize card. If they are a tag team, obviously they would be a basic Pokemon, and if they are a tag team knocked out by Double Deep Fangs, then we would get an extra prize card for it. We get 4 prize cards for a Double Deep Fangs knockout. So that is very powerful in my opinion, but this card hasn't really shined as much as I hoped yet. I haven't really used its Double Deep Fangs at the right moment yet. It hasn't showed up. I haven't actually, strike with the I haven't strike for a knockout with double defense yet, because they keep using metal goggles, and if they use those barrier spells, then double defense essentially does really low damage because it's only 40. You don't have powerful energies, you don't have vitality bands, it's really weak. So but as I said just now, if you have already damaged them heavily with your GMAX Hurricane, then that could be the final blow that you need to do. Double defense could be your final hit. All you need to do is double defense or a knockout. Hopefully that's the case, but if that's not the case, then we can do a GMAX Hurricane turn after turn with two Corviknight VMAXs in play. So all we need is to set up two Bronzongs, hopefully two Bronzongs, because they're gonna boss or a knockout one. Just in preparation for that, we have two Bronzongs in our bench, one Corviknight VMAX in our bench, and one in our active spot, so that we get to switch and attack. Switch, transfer energy, attack, and then on the next turn, switch, retreat again, transfer energy again, and attack again. So all we need to do is retreat, transfer. That allows us to do GMAX Hurricane every turn. So that is very powerful because the effect of the attack can be essentially erased. So during your next turn, you can't attack with this attack. You can't use GMAX Hurricane, but that doesn't matter because we are using another Corviknight VMAX to deal our GMAX Hurricane. So it has zero retreat cost as well. It's very powerful, and Lustrous Body is very powerful as well. It prevents all effects of your opponent's abilities on this Pokemon. That means Whip and Bell, Dangerous Mucus has no effect, Galarian Zigzagoon has no effect, Blow Away Bomb Roxy, Fion, Arctozolt, Curse V, all of those has no effect on your Corviknight VMAX. Obviously, Curse V, Arctozolt, we won't be attaching so much from our hand, but it's better to attach turn after turn from your hand as well, because Metal Saucer might not turn up at the right time, and it's only one energy that you get to attach from your discard pile, and you might discard those Metal Saucers with your Dedenne GX, with your Professor's Research. They might not turn up at the right time, so it's better to watch out for Curse V, but we don't have to do that because we have our Lustrous Body is an automatic Stealthy Hood. Stealthy Hood is the same thing, but it's a tool card, so this is an ability instead, so it's quite powerful if you in my opinion. But obviously it only does 240 damage. That means you need a double knockout, a double hit for a knockout, unless you're using a Leon. So Leon not only offers us a boost for our double defense and our wild attack. Sometimes we may need to use wild attack because we don't have another Corviknight VMAX in play. All we need to do is switch out to a Stoutland V, transfer those energy, and use our wild tackle, because wild tackle does a lot of damage for only for 4 energy cost, which is a lot, but you know, it's not a lot for a basic Pokemon. It is a basic Pokemon, you don't have to evolve it, but obviously you can't heal this card with your Cheryl, and you have to damage yourself by 30 damage, and if it gets knocked out, you can't save those, you can't transfer those 4 energy cards anymore. You essentially waste those 4 energy cards, so it's very risky to be using your wild tackle. It's important to note that you should only use your wild tackle if your Stoutland V has a very low chance of getting knocked out on your next turn. So Stoutland V is not a very strong card, but double defense you know, does a lot. Sometimes at the right time it can do a lot, it can give you a huge advantage. So we also have our setup cards. We have our Sonia, we have our Quick Balls, Evolution Incense, and Pokemon Communication, and we have 4 Metal Saucers and ways of discarding our Metal Energy cards so that we get to catch them from our discard pile with our Metal Saucers. So we have 1 Viridian Forest, we have 4 Quick Balls for the discard, and 1 Cynthia Caitlyn for the discard as well. Cynthia Caitlyn allows us to revive our Cheryl card and revive our Leon card as well. Obviously we have 3 Cheryls, which is a lot, but we have only 2 Leons in this deck because we can't find the space for it. We have no Mews in this deck. This is a very tight spot because we only have 2 Bronzongs, as I'm also. So 2 Bronzongs is not very safe because we need that Bronzong for a metal transfer. But the reason I only have 2 is because I need to fit my Leon into this deck. Otherwise, double defense doesn't do enough damage for a knockout. And sometimes Leon can actually allow you to one-hit knockout a tag team Pokemon. For example, if they have a Mewtwo Mew GX, if they have a Reshizard, if they have a Pikarom, if they have a what do you call that? A Tandem Shock, a Alolan Raichu GX, then we can knock them out for 1 hit with our GMAX Hurricane. So that's very powerful. So Leon actually does a lot for your GMAX Hurricane Corviknight card. But obviously we only have 2 of it, and if they have a big charm attached to their tag team Pokemon, or if they are playing turn in 80 HP tag team Pokemon, then you can't knock it out with 1 hit. You have to do a double hit but Leon can, Leon actually does something. And we are also playing Big Charms in his deck because Big Charm adds HP to your Corviknight VMAX, and it's a very strong card against the Single Strike Urshifu VMAX deck. So Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, they need a lot of Single Strike energies to be able to one-hit knock out your Corviknight VMAX, but all they need is 3. If you add a Big Charm, they're gonna need all 4 Single Strike energies. So Big Charm does a lot. If you add a Metal Goggles, they can what do you call that? They can break through that card because GMAX 1 blow ignores all effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. That means Metal Goggles have no effect, tool cards, abilities, everything has no effect. Full Metal Wall has no effect as well. Stadium cards, everything. So you can't protect your Pokemon, you can't reduce those damage unless you're resistant towards fighting type. So resistance is the only thing that works against GMAX 1 blow. So Single Strike Urshifu VMAX is very, very scary, is the most dangerous card to watch out for if you're playing a VMAX, if you're playing any VMAX cards in your deck, if you're featuring your deck off of any VMAX cards, then you have to watch out for Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. Rapid Strike is very powerful as well, but that is only very scary if you're playing a lot of one price cards. So we do have Bronzong in our bench. That means they can Rapid Strike and they can Rapid Strike our Bronzong and knock it out. 2 Bronzongs if we have 2 on our bench with 1 hit. That is very bad for us because we rely on our Bronzong to transfer our energy, so it's better to have Mew in this deck because that protects your bench Pokemon. But we don't have Mew because, as I said, we need space for other cards, which I find more important. It's actually better to have Mew, but I just don't like a Mew. I just don't like to waste my space. I prefer to tailor my deck towards decks that does not hit my bench, or decks that do not rely on attacking a lot of Pokemons at the same time. If they do that, then I will just, knock out their Pokemon real fast, because Corviknight VMAX actually does damage very fast, very early on in the game. All you need to do is use a lot of Metal Saucers, get the right cards out, set up fast, and you're good to go. So this deck is very powerful, not only because Corviknight VMAX has no retreat cost, that means you get to do a retreat after doing your GMAX Hurricane, but also it does a lot of damage with your GMAX Hurricane. So it's essentially a Zacian card, except it's a stage 1, meaning it allows you to use your Cheryl for a max heal. So that is the most powerful, the most important point of this deck is as I said earlier, our Bronzong Cheryl combo, and also our Corviknight free retreat cost card. So that's all for this deck. I don't want to go on too long. Let's go for gameplay. So today's music will be no copyright music from Epic Journey, so royalty free zone. So today's style is epic style. So we are featuring the Avalon, Knight of Avalon warrior style music because it's Corviknight, it's Invincible Knight. So that's the flavor for today. So hope you enjoy that flavor. Let's go for gameplay with our Invincible Knight deck. Let's hope it's not a fire with Fan of Waves. So if they're playing a fire deck, we have our Coding Energy. So I forgot to mention our Coding Energy. Coding Energy protects you from fire weakness. That means your Corviknight VMAX is not weak against fire type if you have a Coding Energy attached to it. So obviously they can use Fan of Waves to put that special energy on the bottom of your deck. That means Coding Energy's effect is is worn off. You don't get to use this effect anymore. So if they use Fan of Waves, and if you don't have an extra Coding Energy attached to your Corviknight, that means they get to hit your Corviknight for double the damage with their fire weakness, with your Corviknight being weak towards fire type. So that is very bad for us. So if they are playing a Victini VMAX Fan of Waves deck, then that would be horrendous because we only have 3 Coding Energies in this deck, and that is not enough because 4 Fan of Waves, all they need is 4 Fan of Waves in their deck. But obviously Fan of Waves is an item card, meaning they don't get to recycle it. But if it shows up at the right time, that's all they need. All they need is for it to show up at the right time so that they get to use... so that they get to, put our special energy back at the bottom of our deck and make us weak towards fire type again. So we have to do something because it looks like we are pretty much screwed if we don't do anything. We have 2 Cheryls and 1 Leon already destroyed, and we have our Caitlyn in the discard pile as well. That means we can't be recycling any cards anymore. We only have 1 Cynthia Caitlyn, and let's attach that later. So let's get a Bronzong. I don't want to discard my Leon though. That's my last Leon. So let's discard our Big Charm because we already have 1 attached. Let's just put a Bronzong out, a Bronzor. I should have clutched. My bad. Should have used clutch. Way too fast. It's good to slow down every game. Clutch does 30 damage. Sometimes that's enough to knock them out afterwards because VMAX Hurricane plus Clutch does a total of 270 damage, and if you use Double Dip Fangs, you can even knock out a VMAX. So 270 plus 40 plus a Leon is 340. Please don't have a fan of waves. That is gonna be really soul crushing. They're playing a fire psychic deck, so Mew psychic, probably gonna have like Horror House, Reshizard, Charizard GX, the standard ones. I suppose this game is getting pretty boring in that sense because the more powerful you get, the less original you get. Because there's just no way of fitting being being creative in this game. The more creative you get, the less effective your deck become, unless you're smart enough to make it work. So I'm probably not smart enough yet, but I'm getting there. Spreading Flames to any of your bench Pokemon. To your Pokemon in any way you like. So they can even attach it to their Victini. But they're probably preparing for a knockout, so 190 is not a lot. If we have a Metal Saucer, we can knock it out without even evolving. But obviously we're gonna evolve. Oh, this is scary. I'm just gonna use a Marnie. I hate Marnie though, because Marnie keeps getting me the wrong cards. I'm just gonna discard the Leon because Marnie always give me the wrong cards. I hate Marnie. It just always gives me the wrong cards. So we don't have a what's it called again? A Bronzong, right? Not a Bronzor, a Bronzong. So we have a coating. Let's hope we get 2 coatings. Because I'm gonna prepare for that annoying Fan of Waves. Obviously, if they have 2 Fan of Waves, we really can't do anything. But at least we get a Bronzong. We get to put 2 coating energies on 1 Corviknight. That is really good for me. I don't know why I retreated there. Shouldn't have retreated. Doesn't matter if I retreat or not. I shouldn't have retreated actually because I had a big charm on that one. But it's fine. Ooh, I really shouldn't have retreated. Because you never know. With fire decks, with all those crazy cards, welders, and I just hate fire decks. It's way too overpowered. So now we only have to worry about the Mew to Mew. Mew to Mew. From Mew to Mew. And from Z to Z. Alright. Let's focus on the game. No more horsing around, please. Flare Strike. 230. Double Blaze. 300. Not enough for 300 yet. They need like a BD or something. BD Energy Switch. Not possible. What are they gonna do? Let's see what they have in their discard pile. It's very scary. Mew to Mew is just really scary. Because they could be playing anything. They could literally be playing any attack. Vileplume GX. Any GX cards. Blastoise even. All they need is an Aurora Energy, and then they get to use anything. So Flare Blitz 300 not enough. They need a Leon. So I think they already played their support card. Let's hope. I'm really scared now because I really shouldn't have switched, retreated. It was a really stupid move in my part because we had a big charm on that one and we discarded the other one. What are we gonna do now? So we have to Marnie. So Marnie is not gonna be good though because we have all supporter cards at hand. I have to get. Let's see how many energy cards we have in our discard. Okay, no energy cards. That's good. That means we get to Metal Saucer. How many Metal Saucers do we have though? We don't get to use a Didine though if we do that. We have 2 Metal Saucers left. So let's. This is scary. Let's just put a Corviknight VMAX at the bottom of our deck. Let's hope we have a few. Let's hope Marnie gives us a good hand. Come on, Marnie. Like, come on. Okay, we get to use Didine on our next turn. Thank goodness we have another Didine in our deck. It could be in our prize card actually. So we don't have a Cheryl. We have one last Cheryl. Could be in our prize card. This is super scary. Oof. Okay. Let's just put that. Let's put 2 again. And then leave the 2 there. Because if they knock out, if they boss order knock it out, then at least we get to save 1. Let's just put it at the Bronzong. Let's put it at the Bronzer. Why not? And then GMAX Hurricane. So we have no more Leons, one last Cheryl, and no more Cynthia Caitlyn. This is looking really bad for us. We need that Cheryl. Oh my god, we should be having a Cheryl at hand already. There we go, a Victini VMAX. Oh, I'm preparing for that Fan of Waves. Where is that Fan of Waves? It's so scary. Just use it already. So no welders, that's good, that's really good. So they did not welder, they use a research. So even if they use Fan of Waves, they can't knock us out because they can't use a fire type. No fire attacks. And they discard their welder. What? They discard their welder with Giant Hearth? 2 welders left. They have boss orders though. Reset stamps. That's gnarly. Oh my god. This is so scary. Tool Jammer. Ooh. Oh my god. 300. It needs to be in the active spot though. 320. Ooh. Double plays. They still need Fan of Waves. They can't knock us out this turn. Like, they just can't. Unless they do some crazy discards, crazy GX attack or something. They can heal their Pokemon though. Oh, they can't. Because they don't have Psychic Energy. 270. I wonder what that is. 270? What is that? Spreading Flames? What is that? I have no idea what that is. That's just odd. Oh, Outrage. Jesus. Outrage always gets me figuring. Okay, what do we do now? We have to knock it out. We can attack with a Bronzong. Like, why not? We can attack with a Bronzong. We have 2 Bronzongs anyways. Yeah, let's just do that. Because they're gonna have to waste a boss order if we do that. So, let's spread our coating energy around. Because if one gets knocked out, at least You know what? I'm gonna spread it to my Didin. Make it really difficult for them. I'm gonna prepare for my Corviknights to get knocked out the next turn. So I'm gonna spread my coding energy to both Didins. Make it super difficult for them. If they fan of waves, that's nothing we can do. But if they knock out a Corviknight, then we get to reattach our coding energies to the second Corviknight for a double protection because we have 2 coding energies. Unless they knock out our Didin Jax on our next turn, then there's really nothing we can do. So let's move... No, let's not move that. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. 70 is... Yep, is enough to knock it out. So Zen Headbutt. We can switch the next turn. We have a switch at hand. If they don't knock out our Bronzong, they probably are gonna boss order. Like, if they don't boss order us, I'm probably gonna cut my head off after this. Like, I'll let any one of you guys cut my head off if they don't boss order us. Oh my god! Oh dear. I'm a dead man. They actually didn't use boss order. Oh, cause they don't have enough energies. Oh dear, they just do that. Oh my god. There we go, boss order. But they can't use it this turn. So we are essentially dead. We do have 2 coating energies though, so that's good. Ooh, this is scary. 1 energy. Let's just use that one. Oh, we got a Marnie. Wow, that was lucky. Okay, let's Marnie their boss order back into their deck. So they draw only 4. Oh, it puts at the bottom. Haha. That means they could draw another boss order though, because that's their second one. Let's just hold them with a Viridian Forest so they don't Welder again. We can do quite a lot now. All we need is 1 knockout. If only we have a boss order. So no boss orders in this deck, by the way. I prefer other cards. Boss order is just annoying because it's a very powerful card, but I just prefer to have other cards, I suppose. So let's just save 1 because it's getting knocked out anyways. If they knock out our Bronzong though, let's just attach to our Corviknight. If they knock out our Bronzong, I really don't know what to do here. We should actually save our coating. This is... I don't know what to do. I keep switching around. Okay, let's just put 1 of each on... Yeah, they're probably gonna knock out 1 Corviknight. All we need is to prepare for the next one. If they knock out a Bronzong though, that would be weird. What are we gonna do now? Let's see what we have in our deck. Just use it. Didin for Cheryl. Oh my gosh, Cheryl would be super. But we don't need Cheryl anymore actually. We really don't need a Cheryl. We'll get a Cheryl the next turn. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my god, this is scary. Fan of Waves! No Fan of Waves! They're probably not having Fan of Waves. If they have it, they'll be probably... They would have used it by now, you know? So they're gonna boss order. No, they're gonna knock this out. Okay. They're dead. Oh my god, that was so scary. Okay, we won. Phew, that was close. Okay, we GMX Hurricane for the knockout, for the last knockout. So that was scary. We got a trade. Oh, my Cherish Balls. I got my Cherish Balls. So Cherish Ball is for the Mr. Rhyme deck. If you guys haven't already guessed it, Mr. Rhyme ball juggling deck, very famous, but well, not many people use it yet. Not sure why. It's kind of this the new Whimsicott, so people haven't find the right formation yet, I suppose. Same goes for Whimsicott. So the Whimsicott with the two, can't remember the attack, but it discards 2 cards attached to your Pokemon for an extra 40 damage for each 2 card you discarded from your Pokemon. So it's the same as the ball juggling. Discard as many ball cards from your hand, do 40 extra damage for each ball card you discarded. So sort of the same concept, but really difficult actually. When you come around to the actual gameplay, actually playing that card, the deck build is very complex. Because how are you going to get out those ball cards? How are you going to recycle those ball cards? How are you going to play that Yamper at the right time? Because Yamper allows you to put it onto your hand, a Pokeball, a Great Ball, or one of each from a discard pile, but it doesn't allow you to, you have to think about how to use it, because if you use it with a support card like a Professor's Research, you're going to discard it, and you know, if you use it with a Marnie, you're going to have to put it on the bottom of your deck. So it's very tricky. It's very tricky to play that deck, because if you play a Yamper to retrieve those ball cards, how are you going to draw out even more ball cards to do more damage on the same turn? And obviously you can only play as many, you can only play so much scoop up nets every turn. So we've already won, we already discarded 1 Cheryl. Double defense is not gonna do anything. If we don't play a Leon, it's gonna do nothing. It's gonna do 0 damage. Because they have full metal wall, they have metal goggles. Oh my goodness, full metal wall is scary. So we played 2 metal saucers. They could boss order us though. I really don't want to be playing that double defense. Yeah, it looks like we have no choice but to discard that one. 1 extra prize card is just pointless. It's just pointless. We have to watch out for the full metal wall though. Let's just attach more energy before we attack them. Let's hope they don't have a boss order. So we get to spread our energies around, thank goodness. But that means they get to knock out our Bronzong. Let's just spread it to another Corviknight. How many metal energies do we have? 1 metal energy. So we've used 1 metal saucer. What's that? Oh, we have used 2 metal saucers. 2? Yep, 2. We have 2 left. So no point discarding that metal saucer. Sorry, that metal energy. Okay, that's done. There we go. Oh my god. Full metal wall. Can't avoid it. You just can't avoid it. At least we saved 1. There we go. We got a metal saucer. Great. Oh, thank god. Okay. We get to hit them now. So Marnie got us the right cards. And we even got a research for the next turn. We have a lot of basic metal and one basic metal energy. That's enough. We only have one metal saucer left. Not sure if it's in our price card. So we get to knock out the Lookmel next turn if they don't retreat. No more energy discards. Oh, they can still use hammers though. But no more full metal energy discard. Full energy discard. That's crazy. Discard all energies. But thank God we saved one just now. Steel Metal Fist. Oh, Heavy Impact, my bad. Steel Fist is the first one. Heavy Impact, 150 damage, not a lot. But it can knock us out if they have a Leon the next turn. What can we do now? We have to... So we need a Corviknight VMAX. There we go, we got a VMAX. And we got our last Metal Saucer. Just gonna play that. Can we use a Double Dip Fangs? No. They used the full metal wall. So Double Dip Fangs is gonna do 10 damage if you play a Leon. If you don't have a Leon, it's gonna do 0 damage. It's gonna do negative 30. Sorry, negative 20. That's hilarious. So that's how useless Double Dip Fangs is. But you never know, if they don't play a Lookmel, if they play ADP, it could be useful. Sometimes. Should we discard that? I'm not sure. We're gonna draw 3 prize cards, so let's save our Didine. It's better to get a Cheryl though. Let's hope we get a Cheryl from our prize card. We got a Bronzong though, that's good. Bronzor is dying, 10 HP left. Ooh, Metal Saucer Energy Switch. They need another go to be able to attack, but it discards a special energy, Assault Tackle. So we sort of need to watch out for that. Let's attach one. Evolve that one. Should we use a Marnie? So Double Dip Fangs does 10 damage now. Plus, doesn't matter, Corviknight is gonna knock it out. Let's just use a Marnie. So we get our big charms. 130 is not gonna knock us out. Big charms on both, and then retreat. Oh, we already retreated. Oh dear, it's a VMAX. Oh, I forgot. It's a VMAX shield, Dauntless shield. Ah, I forgot. I should have used Wild Tackle. So Wild Tackle is our only bet to knock out this card, because this card has the Dauntless shield. I forgot. So we have to use our Bronzong to attack. That's bad. That's just a bad idea. Should we use a Marnie? I need my Stoutland though. I'm just gonna use a Marnie. I should have shuffled my deck. Ah, that's stupid. Okay, we got a Corviknight. 200 and 190 doesn't, it's not that big a difference. Let's just get a Stoutland. Stoutland's better because it's 200 damage. But it does 30 damage to itself, so 30 plus 130 is not enough still. If they pull out their Zacian, then we can't do anything. It's gonna get knocked out. We just put Cheryl at the bottom of our deck, but that's fine. So let's just put Stoutland. 200 is a little bit more than 190, but it doesn't have the effect that binds you from, that prevents you from attacking on your next turn, because Sky Hurricane, you can't use it. You can't use Sky Hurricane on your next turn for Corviknight V. So now we get to use that attack, and we even get to use double defense the next turn. So if they don't retreat, oh, minus 30, I forgot. Full metal wall, darn it. If they don't have a full metal wall, we could have done something. So they're gonna retreat, they're gonna knock us out with Zacian. There we go. We still have a V card, so we can knock out the Zacian now and then worry about the Zamazenta later, because we have a V card still. Nothing to worry about. All we need is an energy now. So Leon is not gonna do anything. We need to prepare our Cheryl though. I don't think they can win anymore. So we actually need a Leon. Oh, thank God for Leon. I forgot about the full metal wall again. Thank God I remembered at the last minute. Oh my God, that was just really close. Phew, that was close. Thank God for Leon. Otherwise we would do 210. Not enough to knock out the Zacian. Oof. Metal goggles 190 minus 60. Still. Oh, minus 120 now. Oh my God. I think we can knock it out. 190 minus 60. How much is that? 130. I think we can knock it out. Done. Let's get our Cheryl. Discard that. Get our Cheryl. And then Sky Hurricane. There we go, we knocked it out. 130. Phew. Thank you, Leon. Look at that, Leon actually gave us the win. So that's how powerful the Leon card is. You know, it's good to add those cards to your Corviknight VMAX deck, although it's very unusual, but it adds 30 damage to your GMAX Hurricane. Sometimes they have damage reduction spells, and you can bypass those and knock out a Zacian V, like as you saw earlier. And you can also use Stoutland to add extra prize cards to draw an extra prize card if you knock out their active basic Pokemon with your double dip fangs and your Leon damage boost. Obviously, if they have metal goggles or full metal wall or any more damage reductions like stone energies, your double defense is not gonna do much. But we are, or if they have big charms, even those cards is gonna destroy your double defense attack. But we are relying on them not having those, having those advantages, because if they don't have those, then you can effectively add an extra prize card, and then all you have to do after a tag team knockout is to knock out another V card or a GX. The Dean GX or something, 2 prize card. That's all you need for the win. So double defense is a huge advantage when it works, but up till now I haven't found I haven't got it to work yet. But when it does work, if it does work, it will be pretty cool, you know. And then Wild Tackle, 200 damage is a lot, but you obviously have to you have to damage yourself by 30 damage. But the good thing about Wild Tackle is that you don't have to do a double switch. As you saw earlier, our Corviknight V, you cannot attack with Sky Hurricane on the next turn. That means you're gonna have to do a double switch unless you have another Corviknight V on your bench. If they have a Zamazenta, then you have to do a double switch because VMAX, Corviknight VMAX cannot damage their Zamazenta, you know. The Zamazenta is protected from all VMAX cards. So you're gonna have to do a double switch if you only have a one last Corviknight V. So Wild Tackle is better in that sense because you get to do a Wild Tackle on the next turn without having to wait another turn or do a double switch. But you have to damage itself. It has to damage itself by 30 and it's 4 energy cost, meaning if it gets knocked out, you have to waste 4 energy cards. And we can't be wasting cards because Bronzong doesn't attach energy from the discard pile. It only transfers your energy. So Bronzong is not perfect in that sense. It's not a super magic. It's not a magician. It's just, you know, it's just fairly good in that sense. So the main strong point of our Bronzong card is Cheryl. Bronzong allows you to max heal your VMAX card and then retransfer those energies into a new Corviknight VMAX so that you get to attack every turn by only retreating and transferring your energy. So transfer, heal, retreat, transfer, and attack. Transfer, heal, retreat, transfer, attack. Over and over and over again, you get to attack non-stop with full HP every turn until you run out of your Cheryl card. Or if you discard it early on in the game, you might discard it early on in the game without using it, then you can retrieve it with your Cynthia Caitlyn later. But if you discard this as well, sometimes you may discard it with your research or your DDGX, then there's no saving it. Then all you can do is rely on 1 or 2 Cheryls, but that's okay because we have 3 Cheryls in this deck and 2 Leons and 1 Cynthia Caitlyn to retrieve those cards. So Leon, as I said earlier, can be powerful for both your GMAX Hurricane and your Double Dip Fangs, and you can also use it in pair with your Sky Hurricane or your Wild Tackle at the right time. At the right moment, Leon can be super powerful. It can give you a huge advantage. So that's all for this deck. I don't want to go on too long. We have our Metal Saucers. Viridian Forest is a good card type because it's a stadium card. Because if they are playing any powerful stadium cards that give them a huge advantage, like Turffield Stadium, Spike Mirth, or any cards that they are relying on, Giant Hearth, a stadium card that they rely heavily upon, Glimwood Tangle as well, then we can knock that stadium card off the stadium spot and then destroy their gameplay. So it's very good to have a stadium card in your deck. That is why I don't have Energy Spinner. I have a Viridian Forest instead, because even if they're playing a Chaotic Swell, it doesn't matter, because as long as I have that advantage over the Glimwood Tangle decks or Giant Hearth decks, then I'm good. I don't mind if I can't draw my energy cards if they're playing a Chaotic Swell. If they're playing a Chaotic Swell, I only have to discard, I only have to use my supporter cards to draw enough cards until I draw out energy cards. That's all I have to do, because we are only wasting that one card. Only one Stadium Viridian Forest card. So that's all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, if you find our videos interesting, entertaining, or fulfilling in any way. And we'll be making more cool new decks featuring Battle Styles cards and more new cards as well. Keep playing, keep having fun with this game, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys!